Hey, Chiefs fans, before we get into today's show, I want to ask you this question. Will Kansas City get the #1 seed in the AFC? I want you to type Y for yes or type N for no. The schedule came out last night. A lot of fun matchups, so let me know if you guys think the Chiefs will have the #1 seed this year. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump on in to today's video. All right, on today's Chiefs Report, we're going to go through 6 free agent targets I think Kansas City could go after before the start of the 2020 NFL season. Now, the cap space situation isn't great. There's not much to work with. The Chiefs still have to pay their draft picks, so they don't really have any money right now, but they do have ways to clear cap. They could trade Chris Jones, for example, if they want to. They could sign Chris Jones to a long-term deal, which could lower his cap hit for this year. They could cut Lauren Duvernay-Tardif. They could cut Damian Wilson. They could do a couple of different things to free up some cap space. So there are options if the Chiefs should go that route. Now, I don't want them to trade Chris Jones, but there are ways to clear up cap space if Kansas City chooses to do so. This is my updated biggest needs list here. Corner and interior offensive line, I think, are a clear 1 and 2 at the moment. Those other ones are just, areas you could add. The only reason I got receiver on there, for example, is Watkins and Demarcus Robinson are in the last year of their deals. So if they do want to sign someone to a multi-year contract, that could be an option for the Chiefs as well. I want to remind you guys before we get into my list here, we got a mailbag coming up very, very soon. I told you guys last video. I want to tell you guys again here today. So use hashtag Chiefs to get your questions on the show. Very, very soon, I will be choosing from the best questions and filming a Q&A. So use hashtag Chiefs and ask me whatever question you want, Chiefs related. All right, let's get into it. This is kind of more of a fun one here. TAVON Austin, my #6 target here. He does fit the mold of what the Chiefs like at wide receiver, right? I mean, a small, fast receiver, can do a couple of different things. He's versatile. He's never really put it all together, though, in the NFL. I thought this guy coming out of West Virginia was going to be a freaking stud. And while he's been a good player at times, he hasn't really been that, just explosive, dominant type of player. Could he be like a DeAnthony Thomas type of player for the Chiefs? I think that could be an option. Now, the Chiefs' wide receiving core is certainly very deep, and he's not going to take snaps from Tyreek Hill or McCole Hardman, who are similar as stylistic receivers, but obviously a lot better than TAVON Austin. But, Byron Pringle, is he better than Byron Pringle? He might be. He might be better than Pringle, so I think that is something you could keep in mind there as well. That's more of a fun option for me, a guy to bring into training camp and see what Andy Reid can do with him. So I'll be curious to see if he is an option for the Chiefs. I'd be surprised, but I would be intrigued by it. What NFL free agent do you want the Chiefs to sign? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments section. Which free agent do you want Kansas City to sign? I'll be commenting with you guys, so go ahead and tell me who you want. #5, Antoine Bethea, veteran safety. He's 36 years old. I still think he's got a couple of decent years left. Had over 100 tackles last year and a pick. Look, a lot of skins on the wall. Good player. Well accomplished in this league, couple of Pro Bowls. I think he'd be a good mentor and rotation type of safety. Obviously, Tyrann Mathieu and Juan Thornhill are your guys back there, but keep in mind, Thornhill is coming off ACL surgery, and Bethea has done a lot in this league. So I think he could come in, he could be a part of that rotation with Sorensen as well, and be a good locker room presence. And hey, maybe chase a ring in the process of joining Kansas City. I think it would be a win-win for both sides. He'd be a good vocal leader on that defense. And like I said, the guy can still play a little bit. Over 100 tackles, 3 of the last 4 years. A couple of interceptions there as well. I don't think he's going to have another 5 interception season like he had in 2017. But I've always liked Antoine Bethea. He's a good leader. I think he could bring some value to this Chiefs locker room, and I think he would be a solid addition to that safety tandem of Mathieu and Thornhill and Sorensen. I think he could be that 4th guy back there, so we'll see. I haven't really heard any chatter on the front of Bethea as of late. I know he would like to play another year or two. We'll see if the Chiefs end up having interest. You guys should have some interest in these sweet Chiefs face mask coverings. Look, tough times right now, but hey, if you got to wear a face mask, why not do it in style by ordering a Chiefs one? You get this 3-pack for $25. Chatsports.com/Chiefs mask. That is the link to get to this page on Fanatics. You can order this 3-pack for just $25. So take advantage, wear a face mask in style, and most importantly, continue to stay safe out there. #4, ALEC Ogletree. not the best linebacker, but a quality rotation piece. Look, he's never really molded into that first-round talent which is where he was drafted back in 2013, but I think he could come in and be a rotation player and compete for snaps. Like, Willie Gay Jr., I'm excited about him, but let's be honest, he's an unknown commodity. We don't know what he's going to be. I hope he's really good. I think he's got a chance to be really good. You lost Reggie Ragland. ALEC Ogletree could help replace him on this linebacking unit. He's always been a good tackler. Doesn't do that much of else, and as a lot of you guys know, tackling can be a bit of an empty stat. Like in 2016, 136 tackles, it sounds great. How many of those were 8 yards downfield, though? So, I'm intrigued for a cheap contract. Can he come in and compete to be your third linebacker, maybe? Possibly. Hitchens, Wilson, and Willie Gay are the top three guys right now. Hitchens and Wilson, while they're great leaders, they're not great players. Hitchens is a team captain, locker room, rah-rah type of guy. He wasn't great last year, though. Let's be honest. So, I think you bring more competition, more depth, the linebacker position. That is certainly going to be a good thing. Who is the Chiefs' best linebacker? Go ahead and let me know. I'll say Anthony Hitchens, even though he wasn't very good last year, because he is a leader, he is a team captain, but they don't really have a great linebacker, if we're being honest. I do think it's the weakest link on this defense, depending on what the cornerback situation looks like at the start of next year. But I don't think it's a bad thing if the Chiefs want to bring in a veteran linebacker. Top three here, Aqib, Talib. Speaking of cornerback, I wouldn't have even thought of this 2 weeks ago, but with Bashaud Breeland getting arrested and the report coming out that Kansas City was expecting him to possibly already receive a suspension before the arrest for violating the league's substance abuse policy, maybe Talib makes some sense, or any other veteran outside corner. Didn't play much last year, only played in 5 games before going on IR, but look, he can still play, and I think he could offer a lot, both in the locker room and on the field on a 1-year deal. He's been great in his career. 10 touchdowns for a defensive player, that's incredible. Over 120 pass breakups, 35 interceptions. In his prime, he was one of the best cover corners in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying he's that now, but can he be a number 2 outside corner? Absolutely. If Bashaud Breeland's going to miss legitimate time here, they got to figure something out. Do you want Rashad Fenton playing outside corner week 1? I don't. I think he's suitable in the nickel, but I don't think he's ready to be a number 1 or a number 2 outside corner in the NFL. I just do not think that is the route you want to go there. So bringing a guy in like Talib for cheap, who might want to chase a Super Bowl, makes a whole lot of sense. And he played at Kansas, so why not come back close to home? Want you to type sub if you've already subscribed to the channel. And if you haven't, and perhaps this is your first time stumbling on this channel, The Chiefs Report, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. I encourage you to do so. We have videos going up all the time. We have the latest rumors and news. We do Q&As. Use hashtag Chiefs to get your questions on the show. All kinds of stuff planned for you guys leading up to the 2020 NFL season. So go ahead and hit that red button or type sub if you've already subscribed. Let's talk about the big nasties here. RONALD, LEARY, really good with the Cowboys, pretty good with the Broncos as well. The left guard spot for Kansas City is kind of up for grabs right now. There are a couple of guys in the mix there. I think LEARY could come in and potentially take that job, quite frankly. Always been a really good run blocker. Not the best pass blocker, which, is a tick of a red flag for Kansas City because they throw more than they run, but he's still more than passable. Andrew Wiley, Mike Remmers, I don't know who's going to get that job as of now. LDT is still a cut candidate as well. If you cut him, you really should bring in a guard like a RONALD, LEARY. So we'll see what happens. I think he would be come in, compete, and have a chance to start at left guard. The rest of that offensive line is in good shape. Lucas Niang is also an option, the rookie out of TCU, but I think he's better suited as a swing tackle in year 1 and then moving to a starting tackle spot in year 2. Who will start at left guard for the Chiefs? Go ahead and let me know. It doesn't have to be a player on the roster. Maybe it's a guy like Ron Leary. You believe they're going to bring someone in. Go ahead and tell me, predict who the starting left guard will be for Kansas City. Number 1 guy, we talked about him a couple of shows ago. Yep, it's Logan Ryan. I just think he would fit like a glove in this secondary. You lose Kendall Fuller to Washington, That's the way the cookie crumbles. But Logan Ryan might actually be better at this point in his career, and he could fill that nickel role in an excellent fashion for Steve Spagnuolo's defense. The guy's a playmaker. I think he overestimated what his market value is. I think he thought he would get about what Kendall Fuller got, which was $10 million per year. Didn't get that, and now a team like Kansas City might benefit, and they might get him on a cheaper one-year type of deal. Look at the playmaking, guys. Good tackler, 18 pass breakups, 4 picks. He's good in the box with the 5 tackles for loss. He does a little bit of everything. Sure, he gives up completions, but he is an ideal nickelback in today's NFL. Versatile, he can cover, and he can play against the run as well. And if you plug him in, Fenton becomes that, ultimate utility guy again, just like he was last year, and continues to grow as a young player. And Logan Ryan's your starting nickel. I think that's a good idea. I think it would make sense. Obviously, it'll depend on how much he costs, but if I'm Kansas City, I am at least calling him and his reps and seeing what he's willing to play for on a one-year deal. So what is the Chiefs' biggest need? We've gone through the first and second wave of free agency. The draft is come and gone. We now know the schedule. We'll see when training camps officially get going, but there are still a lot of free agents out there. So go ahead and tell me what you think the Chiefs' biggest need is. So just to recap, top 6 guys here: TAVON, Austin, the free agent wide receiver, Antoine Bethea, the safety, ALEC Ogletree, the linebacker, and then top 3, Aqib Talib, outside corner. I think he makes a lot of sense, especially if Breeland gets suspended. RONALD LEARY could come in, be your starting left guard, and then Logan Ryan, starting nickel. He can do it all at that position. He is my number 1 target in free agency for the Kansas City Chiefs.